Welcome to the She Lives podcast, a show for women who want to live a happier life while tackling their goals along the way. Want to learn more about what we talked about today? Visit our website, shelivespodcast.com. Now here's your host, Michelle Hancock.
Hey everyone, this is Michelle Hancock, and I hope you're hanging in there. It's been a wild last couple of days. I don't even know what day it is, really. I mean, I know it's Saturday when I'm recording this, but it feels like every day is confusing. And I know if you're like me, you are probably wondering what is going to happen, and the fear of the unknown kind of starts this anxiety cycle in your head, and I know it does for me. And so really, I just wanted to come on today, give you a familiar face, let you know what's going on with the podcast and how it's affecting my life, and not only mine, but a few tips that I have for you. And hopefully you can take these tips. Some may work for you, some may not. And then at the end, I'm going to talk about some kids' activities at home. If you have kids at the house, some of you do and some of you do not. Just some free, fun, easy ways to keep your kids from getting bored, rather. And I'm just really here to just make you laugh a little bit, give you a break from the news media, and hopefully you are taking some breaks from the media, because I know for me that really spikes my anxiety. And I wanted to continue to do the podcast because I do feel like we need a sense of routine, a little bit of entertainment, even if that is at my expense, have you will. And also, it's good to still be connected with each other through social media, through this platform. We are very, very blessed to be able to still be connected virtually. So I've seen some wonderful things come out of this crisis that I'm going to talk about later. And I've seen some really bad things that I'll touch on a little bit later as well. So thank you guys for joining, for downloading, listening, and sharing this podcast with your friends and other people that need this kind of information in their day right now. So let's get started. And I want to just talk about how it impacted my life. You may or may not care, but let me just tell you, my business, from a business perspective, I had a few jobs lined up for my blog, Modern Mom Life, and one of them has decided to postpone until a later date, and the other is going through with it, but I'm having a hard time finding the supplies to make the recipe, so that's going to be a little challenging. So we'll see how that goes. So it is impacting my income. Not as much as some of the other industries but it has put a damper on that. Also, with the kids being home, since school has shut down here in Texas, it's shut down until April the 3rd, but I'm not holding my breath that will last. I'm seeing other cities, states closing for the remainder of the year, and that kind of freaks me out, but it is what it is, and we're going to roll with it. So with that being said, I have 2 kids at the house, and a lot of my job is writing content, taking photos, recording podcasts, and I have not been able to record a podcast with another guest because they are very loud and they like to know what's going on. And so they would come in here and just make a big chaotic riot while I am trying to talk. And I don't really want to put you through that because I know you probably hear that at your own house. So how am I able to record right now? Well, my son is taking a nap. My husband is at home today, so he is with Reese, and I have threatened their lives. Do not come in here, please. So that's how I'm adjusting my schedule. So in the next couple of weeks, I may have time to have a few guests come on, but I'm going to really try to bring you solo shows that are short and have really good tips for you right now from me. And hopefully you enjoy that until we're able to get back to our normal routines. Will we be normal after this? I don't know. I don't know what normal looks like. All I know is this is the new normal. And I'm really trying to take it one day at a time, which I strongly suggest that you guys do as well. I think I get the biggest anxiety going on through my mind when I think of it long term. I made a mistake of seeing a headline, and I won't repeat the headline because I don't want it to stress you out either, but it was a headline that really just made me stop in my tracks and it freaked me out. But then I see other headlines that give me hope. So that's one thing that I will give you a tip on is try to limit your social media when it comes to the news and allow yourself to have maybe 20, 30 minutes of news a day and then shut it off if you can, because all this information hitting us at once can be very overwhelming. I know for me, I start overanalyzing and questioning things, and I've really had to take a step back. And I'm trying my hardest to see the silver lining in all this. And what I have noticed is that communities are coming together. My neighborhood, for example, has come up with scavenger hunts that we can print out on our windows. And then when we're walking with our kids, we can hunt down different images and have a sidewalk chalk walk where we write inspirational messages. I mean, we just have to get really creative. And I love that I'm seeing the kindness that people are putting out there in the world. But on the flip side, there's some really insensitive comments that I've seen. And I am giving you permission to snooze those people. Maybe they're going through some stress right now. So snooze them for now. And maybe in 30 days, they will be back to how they're supposed to be. But if they're not like that in normal capacity, I give you the permission to unfollow those triggers on social media and don't look back. Okay. So, what are some self-care things that we can do as women? I really do see a focus on our kids, and they are very important, and we'll talk about them later on in this show. But I want to talk about what are some things that we can do for ourselves as women, because if you don't take care of yourself and your mental well-being, it's going to be awfully hard to do that for other people around you, okay? So I want you to find some time each day to reflect and do something that you enjoy, and don't feel guilty about it. Maybe that's binging a Netflix show. Maybe that's listening to a podcast like this or a true crime podcast, whatever your jam is. Maybe it's just going outside and walking for a little bit. Coloring. I've heard a lot of people doing adult coloring pages, and I think that's a great way to burn stress. Maybe it's crocheting. I don't know. Whatever your jam is, don't forget to take care of yourself. And especially if you have kids at home, if you can get up a little bit earlier and have your coffee or do whatever you do, your meditation, before the chaos hits, that would be very, very good for you. Also, don't feel bad for giving your kids free time to watch screens or TV or movies or whatever that is, so you can have your time. This is a weird time right now, and I think all rules of parenting is kind of, those expert opinions that we listen to. This is new territory. So do what works for your sanity and for your family. I do think that having some sort of structure and routine is good for your children, especially with the homeschooling that we're experiencing right now. So if you can have a schedule during the week that you can follow, do it, but also give yourself some grace when it does not go to plan, in which that happened for me on day 3, where I threw my hands up and said, you know what, we did our schoolwork, and now the rest of the day we're just going to do what we want to do, okay? So that is another tip. One thing that I'm seeing right now is this is a great time to think about maybe reinventing your business or coming up with a new business, something that you have put on the back burner for some time, your business plan, your marketing plan, maybe cleaning up your social media for your businesses or your personal. Do those things that you have been putting off for a really, really long time and do them now. It'll get your mind off of things for a little bit, and you have the time to do it. So for me, I am going through my blogs and I'm looking at obviously kids' activities, and I'm going to update those. I'm going to share those and come up with a content plan that works for people. What needs do people need met right now? What problems are out there? It's changed dramatically. And maybe you started a business that is not doing so well right now. Maybe it's a travel agency and you had to cancel a ton of trips in the last week, and God bless you. But try to remain hopeful, come up with ideas or your strategy for your marketing and how you're going to get clients once this is over. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm already daydreaming of the trips that I want to take once this is over, okay? So have some hope there, brainstorm, write it down. Go back to episode 1 where we talked about vision boards and listen to Carrie as she helps us come up with our game plan for goals, okay? Also, this is a really good time to learn something. Take that e-course, take the free resources that are out there right now, and really hone in on your skills and what your strengths are, and find some new strategies to work on and take notes on that, okay? This is also a really good time to work out because all the gyms are closed, so you can work out at home. There are a ton of resources on YouTube. Peloton actually has a 90-day free trial on their app, and a lot of people think that it's just cycling, but they have, what else do they have? They have meditation, they have strength, they have stretching, walking, running, and you can use that without even owning their equipment right now. And usually it's $30 a month, but for now they're doing a 90-day free trial. So check that out. If you want to get the bike, which I just got about 2 weeks ago and I love it. My husband and I both use it. You can use my affiliate code to get $100 off your accessories. And the accessories are like the shoes, the towels, the headphones, stuff like that. And my code is F as in Frank 3XB JS. And I will also link that in the show notes if you are interested in the Peloton bike. They are not a sponsor, but I do love them. Okay, so what else can we do? We talked a lot about limiting your time on social, especially the fake news sites and people, or things that may cause your anxiety to spike. So work on that. Don't feel guilty about that. Also, why don't you do why don't you do that face mask that you have in your bathroom that you have been, hoarding away? I know that I've been focused a lot on that lately because I have nothing else to do. Why not? Why not learn a new skill like makeup or hair that you can do at your house? Just simply Google, or there's all sorts of things online. We are living in a time that there is so much information out there that there's really no excuse that you cannot learn a new skill. You may not be the best at the skill, but you can definitely learn it, right? So we have that going on for us. We also have all these streaming services. Disney Plus is doing a lot of new releases. Hulu just released 3 new episodes of Little Fires Everywhere, and I just started the first one with Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington, and it has me hooked. So after this, I'm going to go binge the other 2 episodes. Netflix also has Ozark coming out and some other amazing shows that I love. Of course, they've got Love is Blind. They've got all sorts of different things that I enjoyed watching and binged it within like a day. But whatever you have to do to get your mind off of this, that's what I'm saying. It's just take it one day at a time. I also read that Audible has a special going on too, where you can read or listen to a lot of their educational resources, and some of their books are on there for free as well. So those are a few simple ways to take care of yourself. I also want to talk about living and working with your spouse. Right now, I am not working with my spouse at home, except for on the weekends. I wish he was at home, but he has to go in right now. So that's been fun. But I would say be honest and communicate to your partner to avoid any sort of resentment. I keep hearing a lot of jokes about, the divorce lawyers are going to have a heyday when we're able to be done with this mess. And I really hope that's not the case. But unfortunately, when you are around your loved ones more and you already have some resentment there, that can spike. So just be honest, communicate. And let him know if you're struggling. Let your partner know, hey, I need your help in this area, and this is what I need you to do. And don't be afraid to ask for help. I know a lot of times as women, we don't want to ask for help. And I feel like now is the time you have to ask for help and do it without feeling guilt, okay? Another fun tip that I have done lately with a few of my friends, and I'm going to continue to surprise them, is to have a FaceTime with your girlfriends or your family members. And you can do that through the iPhone or Zoom. The other day we had the face filters on, and we were having a virtual cheers. And it was so funny because we kept putting different emojis on our faces and talking, and it felt so silly and so goofy, but it was just what we needed to have a little bit of adult interaction and social time with each other. And I do think that's important to still connect with those that you enjoy talking to and have that sense of connection. So find unique ways. Maybe it's even writing a note or letter to your family members and friends, and you'll be excited about that. And then they will also love getting mail that isn't bills, right? So I just want to say, let's remain hopeful and don't feel bad about laughing at some of these funny memes. I mean, I don't know who makes these memes. I wish I was clever enough to come up with them, but they are helping us get through this dark time. The humor is what we need right now. We need to laugh. But I mean, let's not be too crazy and insensitive, and still have a kind heart. But I do think that humor is necessary to get through this. Okay, so those were a few of the tips that I had for just yourself, and I'm sure there are so many others, but as you know, I'm on a time schedule here. So if you guys have any other tips, please let me know in our Facebook group or online, She Lives Podcast. But let's talk about homeschooling. Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about having the kids at home. Let me invite you all to my new Facebook group. It was a group that has grown so fast. I just came up with this idea on a whim. It's called Boredom Busters for Kids. You guys know that a lot of the stuff on my blog is for kids activities. And I have a ton of blogging friends that are very creative people, and they have amazing games, activities, lesson plans, printables, and they are sharing them over in this private group. Also, moms are sharing, teachers. It's a good group, you guys. And it's separated by categories, so you can look up math, science, health, fitness, whatever you want. So come on over to Boredom Busters for Kids. We've got free resources, okay? So that's one thing you can do. Another thing I will have to say is just lean into this homeschooling schedule. Hopefully your school district has given you some resources for distance learning, but if they haven't, just hang in there, get a schedule that works for you. I recently posted a blog post called tips for creating a schedule that works for your kids. Head on over to modernmomlife.com to check that out. And that should help you at least get some sort of schedule. I mean, sometimes we have schedules and sometimes we don't. For my family, I do notice that if we have some sort of routine, it does help minimize those behavior problems. And they can also see what is coming up next, okay? But don't beat yourself up if you don't want a schedule or you're not good at schedules. Again, we're doing what is good for our family and our own mental health, okay? Also, please don't compare yourself or your parenting to anybody else on social media. You should be doing that anyways, but this is now a good time to not beat yourself up, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed and like you can't catch up, okay? Just take it one day at a time. That is a recurring message of this podcast that I want you to take home with you, okay? We talked a little bit about using free resources. Pinterest has a lot of good tips. Rewards are great for helping motivate our children, and that might be hard to find toy rewards or a materialistic reward because of the shopping right now. But maybe that's an extra hour of free screen time or taking them on a drive somewhere. I don't know. We have to get really creative. Whatever your child really loves and motivate them that way. Maybe it's alone time, movie night with one of you or something like that, or spa night with your daughter and she wants to paint her fingernails. Just really be open to talking to them about their feelings as well. I notice when my daughter acts up a lot or she's real snippy, there's usually an underlying issue or concern that she just doesn't know how to communicate. So if you can talk to them about how they're feeling without freaking them out, that's also really good. And I do think that our kids can tell when we're stressed out, and that kind of goes into their system, and we just have to be careful about that. Really careful, because I've been known to, get real stressed, and then my kids can tell, and then they get stressed, and it's just a never-ending cycle. So take a time out, mommy time out if you need to, and just really reset, okay? So those are great tips. I just clapped for you. So some other kids' activities at home. Use the supplies that you already have. If you have shaving cream, there are a ton of shaving cream crafts that I've been sharing, science experiments, toilet paper rolls. Hopefully you have toilet paper. There's a lot of people that don't, unfortunately, but share your paper with your neighbors. Do some crafts that involve the toilet paper. Cardboard boxes I had my kids make a car over the week, and that took up like an hour, and they colored it, they put paper plates on it, and then they made it an airplane. So they've been driving around the whole house, and it's been a great idea. Okay. Coloring sheets, slime, cotton balls, tape, coloring. I already said that because I'm losing my mind. Pinterest is your friend. Google is your friend. Lean on these bloggers that have made all this wonderful content for you. Okay. Scavenger hunts in the neighborhood. Be a leader in your neighborhood. If nobody's doing this, get on your Facebook group. Get on the moms group. Say, hey, we're doing this on this date. Put a smiley face on your window. Take the time and be creative and be a leader in your community. Okay. Cooking, science, fitness, and health. All those things. There are so many hands-on activities. If your kids are old enough to help out with the cooking, have them measure the ingredients. Have them come up with new recipes. Have them skip on a fitness walk, or have them do cartwheels, whatever it is to get them moving. And some fresh air is always good for the soul. There is a ton of celebs and authors reading books to our kids as well. Head to YouTube, head to my Facebook group, Boredom Busters for Kids. You're going to see a lot of moms posting videos of these people reading books, and it's pretty cool to see everyone coming together for this. It's great. Get outside once a day. I don't care. I don't care what that looks like for you. Maybe it is raining. Put on some rain boots. Get your umbrella. Get out, okay? Also, think of if your kids are old enough, or if you even want to. I've seen a lot of families bonding over making TikTok videos, and they're hilarious to watch. So consider doing that. I was a little hesitant at first, but it's actually pretty fun. So if you have any of those videos, please show me. I get caught up in those stuff. Make sure that you are sending postcards, letters, having virtual parties. A lot of moms have suggested Facebook Kids Messenger because then they can message with their friends. I haven't tried it yet, but it is a resource available to you so they can still have some time with their friends and laugh and not feel so lonely. And that's really all I have for this week. I'm very impressed that I was even able to record this because I'll be honest, this week has been a doozy, and I'm going to get a better grip on our schedule for next week. Now that we have some lesson plans from our teacher, I feel like we're really going to set into our new norm and try to stay positive. Allow yourself a few minutes to feel sorry for yourself if you want to. That's fine too. It is a weird time. And just remain hopeful, and God bless our healthcare workers, the grocery workers, everybody that is on the front line that are really doing what they have to do. And I think that we should be extra kind to them. I've seen horrible stories of people being mean to these workers, and I just don't even get it. I know we're stressed, but we need to really choose kindness. And I'll get off my soapbox now. But just take it one day at a time, guys. Keep listening to podcasts. Keep supporting people. Try to shop small. We're going to get through this. And when we do, we will be so thankful and so grateful for the simple things of life that we once took for granted. Okay? So thank you, guys. If you liked today's show, please let me know. If you didn't, you don't have to tell me. Please leave a rating and a review because that helps get the show in the search bar of other people, and I would love to grow this community. And let me know how you're doing. Good, bad, ugly, I want to know. Head on over to shelivespodcast.com. And that's all I got for today. I'll see you next week. If there's any topics you want me to cover or any experts that I can hopefully get on to the show without my kids, coming in here like crazy, I am there for you. So thank you again and have a great week, and I will see you on social.
Thank you for listening to today's show. Make sure to visit our website, shelivespodcast.com, where you can subscribe to never miss a show. Find us on social at She Lives Podcast. While you're at it, if you loved today's episode, please take a moment to share with your friends and family and leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes. Talk soon.